We are with Chantelle Casillas. She is an immigration attorney in Berkeley, California, and today we are talking about immigration. Counselor, welcome. Do I need an attorney for immigration court?
No. Technically, you do not need an attorney to represent you in immigration court for your removal proceedings. However, statistics show that you're about 5 times more likely to win your asylum matter, at least if you're represented by an attorney. That is because immigration law is extremely complex. Some would argue that it's similarly complex to tax law. It's federal code based, and while you do not need an attorney, it's very important to know that an attorney will not be provided to you by the United States government. And again, you're more likely to win your case if you do have one, due to the complexity of asylum law, especially.
What happens if I do not have an attorney?
So let's say you get a hearing notice from the court telling you to present yourself before the immigration judge for your initial master calendar hearing, which is akin to a status docket hearing. It's okay to go unaccompanied to your first one. And, most judges, at least in San Francisco, understand that immigration attorneys are very expensive. For most people arriving to the United States, English isn't their first language. It's not easy finding an immigration attorney. So most judges will be okay with you attending your first master calendar hearing, pro se we call it, or that is representing yourself. And you can always ask for a brief continuance to find counsel and just explain your situation to the judge. For example, you just entered, you're working, very diligently to find an attorney, and typically they'll grant that continuance so that you can find someone to represent you in your asylum matter before the courts.
Will the judge force me to find an attorney?
The answer is no. I can't speak for all jurisdictions. No one can force you to have an attorney to represent you in your asylum matters before the court. However, I know that at least in San Francisco, our judges are wonderful. They, want people to be represented so that they can present their case in the best light and, hopefully win if they can. So no, a judge will not force you to hire an attorney to represent you. But again, I can't stress enough that in our immigration court system, attorneys are not provided for respondents, whether they're indigent or not familiar with our immigration laws. You will eventually have to represent yourself in your final hearing alone if you do not hire an attorney.
How much does an attorney cost?
But it really does depend. It depends on where you are in the country, the experience that your immigration attorney may have. So I can't give an answer to that question. However, I think it's really important for everyone to know and be aware. And, your judge should let you know after your first master calendar hearing that there are a lot of nonprofit organizations that would be more than happy to help try and represent those who are struggling financially, especially. So those resources are always available at the courts. And then again, depending on the experience and the location where you are located, that will pretty much kind of tell you the base of how much your attorney is going to be, but definitely over a few $1,000s. So start saving up if you'd like to be represented in court.
Are there free services?
There are some free services. There are some wonderful nonprofits out there. I don't know if I can name a few, but Catholic Charities, for example, and many others, at least here in the Bay Area, would be more than happy to help represent indigent respondents or individuals in immigration court who have upcoming cases before judges. However, these nonprofit organizations that are working really hard and zealously to represent clients are very overwhelmed right now due to the backlog, especially caused by the Trump administration, the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's important for people to know that if they call a nonprofit and don't get through to someone necessarily the first time, that they're not out of luck. I would suggest just keep trying and pushing, maybe contact a few other nonprofits, but that's what they're there for, to help those who are really in need and who can't afford hiring a private immigration attorney.
Counselor, thank you very much for your time. We will contact you again soon.